Hello and welcome to another game of the ESL NA tournament. We have here in the bottom as the Marines LaFaf and KiF1rE in the top here as the Eldar. This is a game from the semi-finals, and very standard starts here. You know, this is sort of going to happen more consistently until the patch hits. Honestly, that I'm going to have sort of less and less to say at the beginning of these games until I, get to know these players a bit more, perhaps. But you have 3 Dire Avenger squads coming out from the Eldar player. Look over to the Marine side. Scout first, slightly different. Got an ASM. Listening post, going up very quickly, trying to hold a bit of the map a bit quicker. I'm going to keep the view on LaFaf for now, try and keep the colours matched up a bit. Very typical Eldar play, teleporting the Bone Singer up here and having the Dire Avengers pop off the point. This is not the greatest idea, having these Scouts attacks and Dire Avengers there. Scouts do not beat Dire Avengers in a firefight. Gonna have to run down here to the shield generator and hide out a bit. 2 Scouts, 2 Assault Marines now, with one of them in the drop pod. Well, that might be his first. I think that's the first set of Assault Marines. So the drop pod is down. A good hit there on multiple squads of Eldar, and now he's going to chase him out. A good stun as well. Another good stun. Getting the Assault Marines over them, although that probably wasn't the best jump because it didn't hit any actual stuns. Decent jump there, but never really managing to catch any of these Dire Avengers in combat. Good plasma grade there from the Dire Avengers. And good micro here, just keeping one still, the ones that are being chased moving. The Assault Marines really haven't managed to get into combat with any of these. So Dire Avengers come out of that pretty well. Marines are back up here, sending the Scouts over there to clear that out. Have a Servitor scouting up here. Overall, the resources are quite in favour of Eldar, actually. Not that that's super important early on. The Assault Marines trying to get another bit of damage going down. If that Plasma Grenade hits, though, which it does, that could be a lot of damage coming in on these Assault Marines. They probably need to leave now. They're going to get only just skimmed there by another Plasma Grenade, but now the 4th Dire Avengers are out, so they will have to jump. Another Assault Squad being created now. 4 Dire Avengers versus soon 2 Dire Avengers and 2 Scouts, but they're all very injured here. Gonna need to get some reinforcements coming out soon. They are heading back to this barracks to do so. But that's giving the Dire Avengers a little bit of time to control this map. 3 requisition points coming out from our Marine player. No power points yet, though. Hopefully this doesn't mean that LaFaf is going to be falling behind KiF1rE in terms of getting the tech out there. KiF1rE went for the original 3 requisition points, but after that has been only taking energy points, which I feel like is definitely the right way to play this. Going for the Warrior Portal here as well, so he can get the early reinforces. This is something that some players who are less ground-centric throughout their whole play don't bother doing. Got the kill team coming down here as well. Some damage going down here to these Assault Marines. Couple models dying there, actually. Squad of this big blob of Dire Avengers is quite fearsome, but being blobbed up like this means that they can get hit by some bad grenades if they're not careful, especially if these Scouts can get invisible and get up close to them. These Scouts, if not seen, could just set this up for absolute annihilation. However, Striking Scorpions, they're doing Striking Scorpion things over here. They're just slicing down these things. The Dire Avengers coming up here. I don't like how these Dire Avengers are still all clumped. I would really like to see some pre-splits here. This is the sort of behaviour that gets your entire army destroyed and then you're really upset. And there we go. The jump into every single one. I would have liked to see some Scout Marine coming down here. Scout Grenades are going out. A good double stun there. Maybe being a bit too aggressive here, trying to get more than it looks like he's going to be reasonably able to get. He gets hit by quite a bad plasma grenade there. The first few squads of Dire Avengers do go down, though, to the scouts and the kill team, so that didn't end up being too bad. A good jump coming in here, no micro coming in from KiF1rE. LaFaf is now moving up his flamethrower, so he does have enough damage to win this fight now, and the Elder is suddenly looking in a really bad position right now. Getting forced away by this. Getting the vision pop out there so they can see what's going on. The flamethrower getting a lot of damage done, but one Assault Marine squad will go down. Did not get jumped out to safety. Other Assault Marine squad will take down a Dire Avenger squad before the rest of the Elder army run away. And now they're just going to hit this building. I mean, they need to be careful because they won't actually get anything from this building. And so if they waste too much on this building, they're going to be bad. But they do catch some Dark Reapers coming out of the warrior portal there, which is quite good. Although they do need to be careful. Ooh. 18 health on that Dark Reaper. That is very little. Got some more Assault Marines ready to drop, but that only puts his number of Assault Marines back to 2. There's the third Assault Marine squad coming out, so now he is ready. The Dark Reapers have reinforced over here. The Striking Scorpions are healing, and he's getting some more Dire Avengers. He's building a Soul Shrine back here, which I very much like. You can see now that there's a lull in the action that tier 2 is just about to hit from the Eldar, so very well timed out, not quite perfectly, but once this is finished, this Bone Singer will go and make a Sky Portal, likely. The Terran, however, does not have tier 2 and isn't very close. As I said earlier, he was very slow in getting the energy points down. He still doesn't have an energy point up here, so he's only running on 1 energy point right now, and so he's going to be quite behind in his tech here. We'll have to see how he manages to hold this on with the weaker army early on. And now that he's on the left side of the map, the Eldar is pushing on the right generator, although they're now trying to make sure that their Dark Reapers in the back don't get shot on, and getting a lot of damage out onto this kill team. I believe that was 2 models entirely killed by the Dark Reapers, and there are now 2 squads of Dark Reapers in there, but the Assault Marines could jump in there while the rest of their army is pushing down onto this lower point. Oh! Jumped over it. I'm sure you can jump into that. I'm not going crazy, am I? Flamethrower now going to get good hits in. Oh, those 2 jumps are incredible. That was whoa, that was a fantastically done fight from LaFaf there. Just jump straight over everything. Take the Dark Reapers out that's in there, and now they're going to chase these Striking Scorpions away. They're going to get a decent jump on, and they will get away because they're Striking Scorpions, and this is what Striking Scorpions do. Good jump, but good reaction micro from KiF1rE. See, he can do it when he wants to, but both sides here just flipping up a little bit on the micro. Now this is the real opportunity for the Marine. He is putting down his third power. He's realised that he's been slightly behind on that, and I don't like too much him fighting this. I mean, he might get killed actually because he has so much here, but I really think what's more important is getting around to places like this and back here and taking out these generators so that the Eldar doesn't continue to have an economic advantage over you. Kill team are ready to redeploy. The Marine army is moving down here. I would love to just see just one squad. Just a scout squad, maybe. Just one Assault Marine squad just over here. Taking out a side point. Maybe jumping an Assault Marine squad up here is too dangerous, but I mean, I'd still love to see it. If you have, you can have some, you have multiple jumps on a couple of these Assault Marine squads, but the Eldar army is now pushing up. So he didn't get as much done there as I feel like he could have done, but overall, still, he won the fight very convincingly, and he took the map. He now has the advantage. He's playing a bit safer than I would like to see him play. But overall, still okay with this. Nice splits on his army sitting around here. Oh, Soul's going to hit up here and actually get a really big jump. That's bigger than I expected. Jumping in on this, you can see the tech going down there from the Soul Shrine as well. So that's a nice little bit of information. We can actually see on the map here that the Sky Portal has been placed in the base for the Eldar. Good flamethrower shots going down here. Good jumps, catching out everything that the Eldar had up. But a lot of the Eldar's army is back with the shield generator and will be fine. He can try and put some damage onto these buildings, but it's not really going to do too much. You can see that the Soul Shrine is already teleporting out. He wants to make sure that's safe. And here we can see that the first Falcon is now out. This is very good for the Eldar player, and this is the point where he really has all of the control suddenly, even after losing this so much, because the Marine player is so far behind in his tech. It's not going to matter. LaFaf just doesn't have anything to deal with this right now. He's going to lose this kill team. Does take out all of the Falcon shield there, which is quite impressive. And I mean, the Falcon can sit probably just out of this turret's range. He could honestly come down here and just absolutely harass on here. Look, there is like a little spot there you can get. So the Marines are forced right back to their main base in the safety of these towers. And that is, as much as I have like harped on these towers for how much I'm not a huge fan of their design and implementation into this game, they do mean that a mishap like this, where you get behind in tech, doesn't mean you just lose. He's now got a chance to put down his machine cult, and he can try to get some answers out from the safety of his base. And, you know, I would be okay with the argument that, you know, that's your fault for falling behind in tech so much, but, you know, I could see the argument against... I could see the argument for these towers, even though I would probably prefer if the game was a little more open. But hey, man, every game can be different. If I want an entirely open game, I can go play StarCraft 2. You know, we got our choices, and there are definitely some good things that these towers do bring to the game, giving you that extra chance to be able to come back, which can be some of the most fun and exciting games. To be fair, he has now actually done what I wanted him to do earlier. Good focus there on the more important generator, but he is going to lose that assault squad. I would have preferred to see when the Eldar army come out, he jumped out, but these aren't... His army is just so small now. I'm just really worried for him right now. He's got KiF1rE out. I'm not even going to try and say his real name after how horribly wrong I kept getting it last time. I think I called him Antonidas in the last game I was doing. Gabriel Angelos, not Antonidas. God damn it. But I'm just going to keep calling him KiF1rE because that's what he looks like, and, you know, I love that. I love KiF1rE from Warcraft 3, so this makes me happy, even if his walk is a little bit goofy. But we have a land speeder out here, I've heard now, which is a very good start. He's got that out like pretty swiftly from making this. We also have Giant Zara out on the Eldar side, and a Viper, which is good. So the way it seems to go with Eldar seem to be the ones who are sort of the most figured out, in my opinion, is that against Orcs you can just build only Falcons, but against Marines and Eldar you often need to Falcon into Vipers, because the Vipers do true damage rather than the normal damage of the Viper. There's also armor piercing damage coming out from this land speeder, so this Viper really needs to be here, otherwise the land speeder will just kill the Falcon. Land speeder just won't give a hell. And this multi-melter, he's just gonna absolutely slam through. So he has quite a weakened Falcon here, and the Marine player actually managed to keep a lot of his infantry alive, so that does matter. A lot of the times in these games, the Falcon will get so much done killing the enemy infantry that it doesn't actually matter if they go down, because you want more Vipers after then anyway. But with all of these infantry still remaining, the Viper actually is quite important here. I mean, again, I'd like to see some actual more map control. Like, the Marine player was stuck in his base for so long there, and KiF1rE didn't actually take any of these side points, any of this that is just entirely up to be taken. So that is slightly disappointing, but, you know, a lot of players haven't quite got the hang of getting into late game yet. Good jump in there by Zion. Banner coming down. We have the I believe there are 2 land speeders now. Yeah, the second land speeder in here coming. Lots of damage being done to this Viper. It's going to get taken out, and the Viper has not done enough in the time it's been out before the Marine player has managed to get these land speeders out here. I think KiF1rE really did just, you know, rest on having the Viper, and the Viper will clear any army. And he did not take enough of use of his map control, and so now LaFaf is just being able to come back because these 2 points at the side were never harassed, and he managed to build up 2 land speeders, which had just absolutely wiped out what the Eldar had, because the Eldar only had a Falcon and a Viper. So the power is coming out now. I'm sure those power swords will get upgraded as soon as you can. These land speeders are going to come out, and this is the sort of move that LaFaf is doing now that KiF1rE really needed to do when he had control of the map. Get up onto sides like these and just deal damage. Like, these two can leave. Like, his shield's getting down. Oh, there's a Viper coming in. I mean, he might miss micro this here and get some points, but he's still doing some damage on the other side. These guys can just leave now. And they're leaving far enough that nothing else can help, and then they take out the thingy. I mean, slight micro mishaps, a bit too much damage taken, but this whole time, while he's slightly failing on micro on that side, he's just got this entire army pouring on this side. He's going to clear out this power generator, which can't be cancelled now because it's just finished. He hasn't managed to take this top base, but he's taken everywhere else on the map. And this is how you really put your stamp on the map control. LaFaf is showing us what you should do when you get that win. He didn't have the best build early. He got caught up a bit behind, but now he is getting those power swords. His army is going to be incredibly powerful. He didn't lose too much when he was down in tech, and KiF1rE didn't take enough when he was up in tech. And now this Marine player has just taken the whole map. 1 point here for the Eldar. And now he's even moving up here to take that point. You see, he's not just sitting here going, I will make a bigger army than him. He's moving up. He's going, let's make sure I have a huge army compared to him. Now, unfortunately, the armor-piercing shots are slightly wasted here when they're fighting a infantry group. If they could target both, that would be nice, but we've got some Wraith Guards coming up here. And now this point will be going down. These Assault Marines are even going to come over and start engaging some of the infantry here. He's getting some troops over on the Wraith Guard as well, which is very good. All these troops just jumping over. This point will go down. Some damage can now start being done to this building. This shield generator is gonna be going down soon. These shots into these should do no damage because they're armor piercing. Warrior point is going down. It looks like he's going to back off here. Again, very similar to how Bycrush plays these sort of games, being a little bit too careful, I would say. But it's only safe. Throwing away a scout there accidentally. To be fair to these players, it is definitely more safe to go this way. As I was saying earlier, there are a lot of ways to come back in this game, a lot of mechanics which help making that a possibility. Oh, grenade coming out from here. It's going to hit the Wraith Guard very well. To jump up, getting in front of the army. Wraith Guard are getting slowed. I really would like to see a jump onto those and these. Yep, there's one going out on the side. He's now pushing over onto that shield generator. He has a squad of Assault Marines which are enough to take out these Dark Reapers on the side. One Dark Reaper squad gets killed there, and this shield will go down. More here, we have a Predator coming down, so this is the real late game army getting put up. He doesn't want to stand up here and just get hit from the high ground, but just a few shots here. Connected with the Servitor from the Wraith Guard. The Eldar tried to retake this listening post up here, and so the Marine player is going to take this out. He's got some more assault squads. He's got land speeder. This is the thing that I'm quite impressed with from LaFaf here. He is managing to keep up producing lots of stuff. He's not doing what some players do and just forgetting about all his early game units when he will lose it, but my point still stands. He's not forgetting about sinking that requisition. We can see here from KiF1rE actually hovering a bit of money, but I mean, he does need to build something, so actually looking at it though, what is he waiting to build? These only require 150, 180. These only require a low amount of requisition, so he has a lot of requisition here that's just sitting here doing nothing, and he really needs to do something with it. This is the exact mistake that LaFaf is not making. You see, he's holding up a lot of requisition because he's thinking, I don't want to waste resources because I need to save up resources and buy a Wraith Guard or a Falcon. But if he actually just used requisition to buy some Dire Avengers or some more Dark Reapers, he would be getting use out of that money, which is just sitting there doing nothing. Whereas we look at LaFaf's side, his money is much lower because he is continuing to make Assault Marines, even though, you know, they are not the important part of his army now. He is continuing to make them as that resource hike that they are. Now, I may prefer... I mean, he's so ahead he can do this, but I may prefer overall in a lot of games in a situation like KiF1rE's, maybe you would make Tactical Marines instead, because they do not require even just that 10 energy. Although at this point, now that it's hit requisition, or what's it called? Whatever the phase is, 2, I can't check because it doesn't... Escalation phase, I can't check because it doesn't show out on this UI, but once it's hit escalation phase 2, then you can see he's getting power fast enough that he can waste 10 power at a time on... you know, as I you know, congratulate LaFaf on his excellent macro, his macro does start to slip immediately. But, you know, the point stays. Many players would stop making these entirely and only make Predators and Dreadnoughts, and then they'd end up with a ton of requisition and no points. Maybe the one thing I would like to see is, you know, when he is down on power, him make some Tactical Marines. Oh, and the Dreadnought is available. This is actually the first game in quite a while I'm going to see the Dreadnought come out. Jones are just hitting up here. Just getting the big army. He's got another Destructor out. Once this gets up here and he's got this whole army, he should just be able to push and win. And hopefully he won't, you know, won't dilly-dally too long with doing that. Here we go. Look at that beast. Vulnerable Dreadnought. 71 armor-piercing damage. Whew. Whew. The big anti-tanker. Anti-buildings as well. So here we go, we've got all the Assault Marines jumping in, and their true damage actually rips this quite well when they're not getting stunned by it. If the Venerable Dreadnought can get some hits up on this, it's going to be great. Another normal Dreadnought getting dropped in here. Now that the true damage of these Assault Marines can hit on this tower is going to go down pretty quickly. We have the Dreadnought in the left pushing this up. The Falcon is in a good position being microed around to defend this tower and is getting a lot of work off here without being stopped, but the Vulnerable Dreadnought is going to help this go down, and the Vulnerable Dreadnought is going to finish off this Falcon as well. And then the Dreadnought and Uther have cleared out this Eldar army, and now the enemy core is just going to go down. So this is the first game of the series, one for LaFaf. Very good play. I was very impressed with his play. And we're going to go into the second game later to see which one of these two qualified for the finals of the ESL NA 4.